Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Thank you very much for watching. This video will be titled Equality in Weapons. In another video I did just after the Sandy Hook shooting, if it indeed took place, I tried to explain why we should own semi-automatic firearms, specifically semi-automatic rifles. However, I got sidetracked, as I tend to do sometimes. What I need is a damn good editor to keep me on track. Fat chance of that happening. I think that I should rephrase that from a question to a statement. Not, why should we the people own semi-automatic firearms? No. It should be, we must own military type semi-automatic firearms. Emphasis on military type. Now for the question, why military type firearms? Well, let's see. The year was 1903, the same year that the Wright Flyer made its first powered flight. That is also the year that our U.S. Congress, in one of its extremely rare moments of wisdom, passed a bill that created the Civil Marksmanship Program, or CMP. Check that out online, folks. That was 11 years before World War I began. Therefore, I consider it a wise move, not an act of desperation. From its inception, the CMP has promoted the ownership of military-type rifles. Even now, as of 6/28/2014, that's when I wrote this piece, it's actually 7/14/14 now, the CMP has in stock for sale to private citizens M1 Garands, M1 carbines, M1917 and M1903 bolt-action service rifles. First, to promote marksmanship through competition, and second, to ensure that a portion of the civilian population is knowledgeable of military firearms. In the event of another world war, or if our nation is invaded by a foreign power, there would already be a corps of knowledgeable and experienced marksmen to hold the line, as well as to train new recruits in the use of firearms. As many of us know, shooting a rifle well takes training and a lot of experience. And as many of us know, every United States Marine is a rifleman first and everything else second. And most people would not argue that as a large organization, the Marines do better as far as shooting and tactics than any other organization on the planet. Even with all the tanks and planes and missiles and smart bombs and drones, it is the individual rifleman that takes and holds ground. Reference the Battle of Fallujah, folks. Now, let us get down to the original purpose behind the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. First, the Bill of Rights grants us nothing. Our right of free will comes from our Maker. That'd be God to you atheists out there. The purpose of the Bill of Rights is to set them down as part of the Constitution so that the rights are protected by law. That would be the law of the land, folks. Regardless of the whim of politicians, these rights cannot be taken away. Only given away by the uninformed, overly trustful, and or the lazy. And of course they can be taken by force. Okay? I cannot vouch for what is being taught to our children in this day and age. But I remember learning about Paul Revere and his famous midnight ride, as well as the battles of Lexington and Concord, Bunker Hill, and of course General Washington before he became president. I also remember the shot heard round the world, and I understand it was not The shot heard round the world was not fired simply over taxes. It was fired to protect the citizens, militia, arms, powder, and ball from confiscation, not simply over the damn taxation, as I've already stated. Though that led to the confrontation, ultimately it came down, as it does in our time, to control. They wanted to control what we did, so if they took our arms, our powder, our ball, or if you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about, the rifles or muskets at that time, mainly muskets, and the ammunition, all right? They had to be loaded separate. Didn't come in a pretty little old brass case. Why is it such a pressing issue now? Well, because the progressive liberals are in control. Mayor Bloomberg being one of the worst. He wanted to control everyone's behavior, not simply their rights. What an overbearing shit he is. And so do most other liberals and rhinos. Rhino stands for Republican in name only, for y'all don't obla on that one. They want to control you, to make you and I into virtual slaves by the use of executive orders, laws, rules, and of course taxes. Debt is a type of bondage, is it not? Just this morning I read the Just this morning I read that 2 Democrats are trying to limit what books we the people can read. Didn't they do that in Nazi Germany and in Soviet Russia? I do believe they did. Book burning, so forth. Do what? That's right, folks. I also heard that old so full of crap, that's my affectionate, wonderful name for President Obama. Oh, so full of crap is trying to regulate how much cows fart. Do what? That's right, folks. The EPA is going to regulate how cow farts. Just when you thought you had seen and heard it all, just one more layer of control. Remember that the next time you go to the grocery store. Every new regulation adds up to more and more money coming out of your pocket. And ultimately, total control of our food supply, medical care, fuel supply, you name it. Our children, their education, where we work, how we work, on and on and on. And folks, that is where the founders said enough is enough. Taxation without representation. And that is exactly what we have today. Don't believe me? How about all the BS regulations that require permits, driver's license, car and truck tags, regulatory fees, business licenses and fees, registration fees, tickets of every sort, land use fees, EPA fines for watering your grass. Everything you buy is taxed. Every service you use is taxed. And now we have Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. My ass. Yet another tax being enforced by who? The IRS. I still have not signed up. I am not going to sign up. End of freaking argument. Now, as anyone with a brain and eyeballs can see and understand, there is a revolution brewing in this country. Period. Wannabe king, oh so full of crap, is bound and determined to outlaw firearms any way he can. So he and his Democrat followers and far too many rhinos are trying anything and everything to accomplish exactly that. Apparently they don't have eyes, and we all know they have crap for brains, and are either too damn dumb to see the revolution that is coming, or that is exactly what they want. And that is the reason we have the Second Amendment, ladies and gentlemen. Once politicians no longer fear we the people, we are in trouble. Yet because of the Second Amendment, we, by God, have the power to put a stop to this out of control wannabe dictatorship. The founders of this, the greatest country on earth, were very clear. Only the Second Amendment can guarantee our liberty. That, and of course, the courage and tenacity to take action. Damn the consequences. When those who have been elected as our representatives no longer obey us, but instead attempt to enslave us, we must act. By recall, general election, or at the point of a damn bayonet. They will abide by the Constitution, or we will make them leave office, or one way or another. Of course, the government has a professional army, homeland security, and etc. They also have a lot of guns. Yeah, they are only 5 or 6, maybe 7 million of them. How many gun owners are they in America? If only 3% of the population stood up against the army, it'd be overwhelmed big time. All right? Not all the military would be on their side either. Many of them would side with the people because it's their constitutional duty to protect the Constitution. Especially when these damn politicians are trying to destroy the very thing that they swore an oath to defend. And some of them take that very seriously. I didn't actually finish writing this thing as I wanted to. But the entire point of us having military type arms and the ammunition to go with these weapons is so we have parity in small arms with our military. Not only for the situations such as a civil war or overthrow of a tyrannical dictatorial government if elections do not work, but also to have interchangeability with the military in case of ground combat, an invasion from whomever. The Chinese, for instance, they would have the largest army on the planet Earth, but we could damn sure put them in the Hurt Locker, Jack, and you can take that to the freaking bank. That's the reason we need a massively superior Navy in every aspect in the Pacific, as well as the Atlantic, both technologically and numerically superior to any foe out there. Thank God they're developing all these new stealth ships and so forth. But we have to have the Second Amendment. It's the only damn thing that guarantees any of the other amendments. It should have been the First Amendment. Really and truly. It is our first freedom, because without the Second Amendment, there's nothing. If it breaks down, all right, the threat of the executive branch against the judicial branch and against the Congress and the Senate, like Hitler did. He had enough of his supporters elected. They just disappeared, the rest of them. They were too afraid to start with to fight to try to stop him. They gave him everything he asked for. And once he got that unlimited power, they disappeared. They were gone. All right? Any of his opposition were gone, murdered. That's exactly what has happened in Russia, Cambodia, Vietnam, whatever the case may be. We have to have parity in small arms. We have to have it. There's no other way around it. And the biggest reason we have to have it is because it gives that moment of pause to our government bodies. What will the people do? All right. The Bundy Ranch incident was a perfect example of that. All right. Whether you support Mr. Bundy or not, that $1 million of land tax would have put him out of business like it did every other single ranch in his county. All right. The taxes, they taxed them into oblivion, put them out of business. All right. And that's exactly what they're doing to everybody else. Everybody else, every new regulation, every new tax is bringing us down lower and lower and lower, making us less competitive in the world. There's no way we can maintain our competitiveness. There's no way we can maintain our lifestyles. Our lifestyles are getting lower and lower and lower and lower, even though we're working harder, making more money an hour, maybe, in a lot of cases. You're still bringing home less because you're paying out more in taxes. And when you do buy something, pay for a service, it's taxed to the damn point. You just can't make it. We have to have a change. We need to unelect every single incumbent and start over fresh. And I mean every damn one, both parties. Get rid of every damn one of them. Start completely over. That is a slap in the damn face to them and say enough is a damn enough. We've had all we're going to take. Now we're going to do this the legal, morally correct way, by the law. I'm going to unelect your ass and you're going to leave office. And if you don't, we're going to come up there and we're going to hang you from a tall tree with a short piece of damn rope. Or firing squad, however which way, every way you want to look at it. We have to have the Second Amendment. We have to have our own firearms. We have to use these firearms, and you got to have the balls to take up the fight. My hat is off to everyone who went to the Bundy Ranch. Uncle Fester and Lurch were here visiting. We were out here in this yard shooting the piss out of our targets and so forth, and sighting in his rifle and sighting in my rifle with the new red dot. The weekend all that went down, and because I don't have TV, even with my little crappy job, I can't afford TV, and I didn't have a radio playing. I didn't even know all this was going on. I think Kimbo had said something about it, and I missed it. So now when she says anything about something like that, I will go and research it. Got to see what's going on, stay abreast, because I would have went out there my damn self. I wouldn't have been able to afford to get out there, but I would have went with somebody going. I'd have called somebody, some way, shape, or form, and I would have went right along with them. Because you either stand now, before the bullets flying, or you get shot at. Don't let them take your rifles away from you. Connecticut, New York, they start coming confiscating. Y'all need to have a plan of action. When one of your members is, one of your citizens, your fellow, your neighbors is attacked, they go to take his guns. Every man with a rifle within 50 miles should come to that man or that woman's or that family's aid. You understand what I'm saying, you? And maybe there'll be a peaceful standoff. They see they can't take them. They leave you the hell alone, back off. But then again, maybe they don't. Or maybe they come back in the middle of the freaking night. That's one of the good things about the job situation as it is right now. There's someone here always up and always awake. So all I need is that little bit of warning, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Just like with the damn Yellow Jackets. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalists, having rambled on for a considerable amount of time. Thank you very much for watching. God bless America. Y'all take care and have a good day.